So let's start with a short prayer. It's always good to start with a short prayer. I hope English is okay. If I need to shift between Hindi, English, I'm just going to request everyone to please mute themselves. It'll be nice to see some more videos on. It's always nice to see faces rather than just a blank screen. All right, so let's just take a moment, close your eyes and just inhale and exhale. So many times we're just running in our life. It's good to take a few moments to just stop for a moment, be silent, be still, and say a prayer, invoking whoever you believe in. To the Supreme God, we thank you for all the priceless blessings in our life. Blessings that we are aware of, blessings that we may not be aware of. For all the blessings in our life, we thank you. Thank you for your guidance, for your help, your protection. Thank you for blessing this session, everyone who's attending this session at all levels, and especially with a deep understanding of the topic that we're going to be talking on. Thank you for blessing us all with the awareness of things that we can change and the willingness to change, to live a better life. I also invoke the blessings of all the spiritual teachers. In my case, to my teacher, Grandmaster Chua Kok Sui, all the great ones, all the invisible helpers. Thank you for blessing this session and everyone present here at all levels. So please open your eyes. Welcome to the session. So I was given the topic, we're going to be talking about karma. Now that is one topic that I think everybody knows. A quick show of hands. How many of you know or have heard or have been reading actively, or you can put it in the chat. What is karma according to you? I can see there are a lot of pranic healers here. Are there a lot of non-pranic healers as well?
Yeah, we have pranic healers and non-pranic healers also.
All right, that's good. So what is karma? So Divya says, what you sow is what you reap. That is correct. What you give, you get back. Karma is an action. It's our actions. All right, thank you. What else? What else? All right, a quick show of hands. How many of you believe what goes around comes back? Thank you. How many of you believe 100% in karma? 100%. I'd like a show of hands, or you have these emoticons. Does everyone here believe in karma? 100%? More than 100%? All right, perfect. How many of you, my next question is, just put your hands down now for the moment. You can lower your hands, even the virtual hand. My next question is, how many of you believe that you are believing in karma? Yes, but you're also living your life with the knowledge of karma. You're absolutely adhering to what karma is, your understanding of karma is. How many of you can say 100%? I don't see so many hands coming up this time. All right, so let's talk about it for a moment. This morning when I was reading, suddenly this quote came up in front of me, a quote by George Eliot, and it says, our deeds determine us just as much as we determine our deeds. Our deeds determine us just as much as we determine our deeds. Now, all of you have said karma is what we sow, we reap. What goes out comes back, all that, right? All of you said you believed in karma. A few of you said you're trying to live your life 100% by the rule of karma. Okay, not someone's being also very honest, trying my best, not 100%, try to do the most. But let's look at it a little closely. I know a lot of you have heard about karma umpteen numbers of times. This is a topic which never goes out of fashion. Let's put it like that. Okay. And we can have a number of discussions and it's never enough. But I'm really, I would say I was thinking back, when was the first time I started understanding a little bit or hearing the word karma? And I realized that it goes back to several years. And the two people in my life who've been probably most influential in helping me understand karma, one has been my dad, and one, of course, Master Chua Kok Sui. He really puts the teachings in such a manner that it hits home, it hits the nail on the head. So I was thinking, when I started talking about karma or thinking about karma, I'd heard about it. Used to keep saying karma hai. A lot of people say, "Hamara to karma hi aisa hai, hamara to luck hi aisa hai." Some people call it luck, good luck, bad luck, whatever. But I remember I was very young. My father was in the army, and he'd moved cities. In the army you get posted, and one of our so-called family friends had come to pay my father a certain amount of money. And I was a little girl, I was sitting in my father's lap, and this gentleman was, of course, having tea. I don't remember if there were samosas then, but definitely tea. And uncle was like, almost with tears in his eyes, he said, "How did you just hand over all your savings to a person?" So the short story is, the background story is, this person had a large family. He had about, I think, 8 kids. He had gone into bankruptcy. And so my father apparently, back in those days, given him all his savings and said, "Here, take this, invest, start a new business again." And he had come back to return that money after many years, along with interest, in fact. And he said, "I always wanted to know that, you just handed me all your savings. What if I had not given it back to you? You didn't ask me to write a paper, sign a paper. You just gave me your savings. What if I had not given it back to you?" And my father said, "It was my karma to help. If you didn't return the money, that would have been your karma." I said, get goosebumps thinking about it. I was really young that time. So I remember asking my dad, "What is this karma?" And then he'd explained to me that whenever you're in a position to do something good, do good. It'll always come back. As also the bad. Okay, now I didn't really understand it that much then. For me, good things were getting a chocolate or an ice cream or something like that. I didn't understand the relevance of what he said then till very late in life. And of course, I saw that coming back several times. Another time, I think he'd helped someone in the middle of the road. His car had broken down. He'd given this family his own room in the mess in the army. And the next day had their car repaired and sent them off. And many years later, when my father had still passed on, we had some trouble. We were sitting in this government office and waiting to meet the DM. And his personal assistant came out and he said, "Are you so-and-so's family? Are you Colonel Saxena's family?" And my mom said, "Yes." He said, "Why didn't you tell me earlier on? Come right in. All your work will be done." Many years ago, he had just helped this gentleman. He didn't know him, when in the middle of a lonely place, his car had broken down with family. And he said, "I still remember him because he gave us his room to stay in the night, not worrying about his own comfort." So I can never forget him. And that time he was driving through, Bihar or some of that area, which was not very safe. And so I've seen it come back several times. And I know that we've all heard these stories of the good coming back, the bad coming back. We all know it. Yet, do we really apply it in our life? Do we have 100% faith? So when I'd asked my father about karma that time as a little girl, he said, "You have to have faith, an absolute certainty that it is going to happen. Karma is." And he didn't go into more complex explanations than that, but that's the way it was. Then I came into pranic healing, studied so many things, and the way Master Choa explains it is that it is the law of the universe. It's a universal law. Some of you may be following Master Stephen Ko. He's another one of Master Choa's senior disciples. He always says, it's the law. It's not my opinion. It's not your opinion. It is the law, like the law of gravity, right? So if I hold this pen and I drop this pen, if I leave this pen, what will happen? It'll fall, right? Why? Because there's something called the law of gravity. It will fall. Now, when you understand the law of gravity, let's say I asked you all, okay, I'm sitting on the 13th floor right now. The center is on the 13th floor. If I said, go to the balcony and jump, will anyone over here jump? Anyone? Do you all have faith in God? And if I said, come on, you have faith, jump. I don't think even one single person will jump. Yes, we all have faith, but we also have the intelligence and the knowledge that if we jump, we're going to end up getting very badly hurt because we are going to fall. There is the law of gravity. Now, we have to have the same faith with karma. Why do we forget? Why don't we display the same faith with karma? Why do we think that sometimes we can hoodwink karma? We can make a fool of others. If we fooled someone else, nobody saw. Well, sadly or fortunately, the lords of karma see everything every time. And so it is going to come back. As sure as gravity, karma is going to come back. Now, if we all realize that, we can actually use it to our advantage. Yes or no? So Master Choa would say, it's easy to create the future. It is difficult to predict the future. It's easy to create it. And that is based on the understanding, again, of this universal law of karma. You can use the law of karma to create the future you want and to navigate through life. Because what we sow, we will reap. If we sow an apple tree, we have to reap apples. I can beg the apple tree to give me a guava. It's not going to happen. I can threaten the apple tree. I can say, hey, apple tree, I'm going to cut you if you don't give me a guava. Nothing is going to happen. So, आप अगर एप्पल का पेड़ लगाएंगे तो उसका फल आपको सेब ही मिलेगा और कुछ नहीं मिल सकता. इसी तरह से जो भी हम काम करेंगे उसका हमें फल तो मिलना ही है, चाहे अभी मिले चाहे कुछ टाइम बाद मिले. और अगर हमारे को ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग आ जाती है कि कर्मा क्या है तो हम उसको अपनी लाइफ में यूज कर सकते हैं. आई नो हमारे पास टाइम कम है तो बहुत क्विकली ये तो पता है सबको, यहाँ पे सबको पता है कि कर्मा क्या है. अब आप उसको अपनी लाइफ में प्रैक्टिकली कैसे यूज करते हैं? हाउ डू यू यूज दिस to build the life that you want? How do you do that? Again, let's take the same example of gravity. क्योंकि gravity की knowledge है हमें, हम उस knowledge को use करके आज aeroplanes बनाते हैं. We've had rockets which go out of space. We are able to counteract gravity and fly. Yes or no? So yes, gravity is there. It's the law of gravity is again a universal law. हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं, gravity है, कर्मा है. लेकिन अगर हमारे को ये अच्छी तरह से समझ आ जाए, if we understand how karma works, we use it to our advantage. हम उसका फायदा उठा सकते हैं अपनी लाइफ को completely ट्यून करने के लिए. और कर्मा में 2-3 चीजें और होती हैं जो अगेन आई विल टेक द एग्जांपल्स जो मास्टर को ने दिए हैं. कर्मा के लिए क्या चीजें जरूरी हैं? By the way, karma सिर्फ किसी ने कहा था karma is our actions. That is true partially. Karma हमारा जब से शुरू होता है, it starts from our thoughts. The karma begins when we think. We come from a school of energy, pranic healing. So आपका intention, आपका thought, आपका speech और आपका action, ये सब कुछ कर्मा है. Energies everything is energy. हमारा physical body जो है वो भी एक energy है, शरीर जो है, एक emotional body होता है, एक mental body होता है, एक spiritual body होता है। जिन लोगों ने क्लासेस किए उनको पता है मैं क्या बात कर रही हूँ। अगर आपने क्लासेस नहीं ली हैं तो यू आर वेलकम टू टेक द क्लासेस एंड अंडरस्टैंड। हर एक चीज जो है वो एनर्जी है। आपका थॉट भी एक एनर्जी क्रिएट करता है, और इसमें भी कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है। हमारे इमोशंस एंड थॉट्स एनर्जी कैसे हैं आप सोचिए। व्हेन यू आर वेरी हैप्पी and we are in the month of February, it's the month of love, Valentine's Day and whatnot. How many of you celebrate Valentine's Day here? Right now, when you are happy, you've got a date, everything, you like romantic music. If the weather is raining, what romantic weather. If it's sunny, what romantic weather. And you take a person जिसका अभी अभी ब्रेकअप हुआ है, या लड़ाई हो गई है, या झगड़ा हो गया है, what happens to that person? If it's raining, मौसम भी मेरे साथ रो रहा है. If it's bright and sunny, you will say, क्यों है इतना bright and sunny? Now what has changed? The emotions have changed, right? That is energy. So everything is energy. We create karma from the moment we think. अगर वो अच्छा थॉट है तो उसका एनर्जी बाहर जो जा रहा है वो अच्छा है. अगर वो इतना अच्छा थॉट नहीं है तो we are creating negative karma there. It starts with our thoughts. That's why we have to be super careful of what our thoughts are. Even more careful of what thoughts we put into words, and even more careful of what we put into action, because it's going to come back. Now, for karma to manifest, there has to be cause and condition. दोनों चीजें चाहिए कि कर्मा मैनिफेस्ट हो. आप लॉटरी टिकट्स का एग्जाम्पल ले लो. हजारों लोग लॉटरी टिकट्स खरीदते हैं. हाउ कम वन पर्सन विंस? वैसे वो बहुत लकी है, बट नो, दैट पर्सन हैज द कार्मिक एंटाइटलमेंट टू विन. The others do not have the karmic entitlement to win, so they don't win. So of course you need the cause, you need the condition, both to match for any karma, good or bad, to manifest. But again, if you understand this knowledge, you can create the cause and conditions. Rather, let's say हमारे पास हमारा cause तो create करने की शक्ति है, conditions आएंगे, because universe आपको वो energy दे देता है. जो एनर्जी हमारी ऑरा में है, एनर्जी वर्ल्ड में कहते हैं लाइक अट्रैक्ट्स लाइक, वो यूनिवर्स आपको और देता जाएगा. अब इसका ऑपोजिट भी होता है. वी गिव एंड वी गेट, वी डू नॉट गिव, वी डू नॉट गेट. सो जैसे हम कोई एक अच्छी चीज करेंगे, वो चीज हमें 10 गुना वापस मिलेगी. बुरी चीज करेंगे, वो भी 10 गुना वापस मिलेगी. अगर हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे तो हमें नेक्स्ट टाइम उसके लिए 10 गुना और काम करना पड़ेगा. Let's say, what do I mean by this? If you understand how it works, if I give, I will get back. But if I take, I will have to give back 10 times also. मान लीजिए मैं चोरी करती हूँ, तो मुझे 10 गुना उसको वापस लौटाना पड़ेगा. एक कुछ टाइम पहले, इनफैक्ट अगर आप लोग को इंटरेस्ट है तो वर्ल्ड प्राणिक हीलिंग का जो फेसबुक पेज है उस पे मास्टर हर्मी के साथ एक टॉक हुई थी इन कन्वर्सेशन विद सीरीज में, एंड उन्होंने बहुत ही बढ़िया एग्जाम्पल दिया था अबाउट कर्मा ऑल्सो. शी हैड गिवन दिस एग्जाम्पल जहाँ वो कह रही थी कि शी वुड कीप लूजिंग हर स्पेक्टिकल्स ऑल द टाइम, एंड शी सेड इट्स नॉट बिकॉज आई हैड स्टोलन स्पेक्टिकल्स, तो मुझे बार बार मेरी स्पेक्टिकल्स गुम हो जाती थी और मुझे नहीं खरीदनी पड़ती थी. It was that I had actually been indifferent to the person who was selling the spectacle and insisting that there was a discount when there was no discount. So she insisted because she believed कि एक discount है, उन्होंने discount पे वो spectacles लिए, and she said apparently that person who was in the shop, उसको मेरे जो मैंने पैसा कम दिया उसको अपनी पॉकेट से भरना पड़ा. So when she realized कि बार बार उनके साथ specs उनकी गुम होती जा रही हैं, she actually went back to the shop and said, no, I have to pay this money to you. And then she said, suddenly she stopped losing her specs, उल्टा उनको गिफ्ट में मिलने शुरू हो गए specs. So when the karma is done, when we learn our lesson, the karma stops. At least the punishment stops. It's not a punishment in the first place if we understand how it is. Now, someone's asked a question, how to build karmic entitlement? Fantastic question. Thank you. Very simple. You do to others what you want others to do to you. And you don't do to others what you don't want others to do to you. Now, this is easily said. हमारे को सबको ये पता है, लेकिन constantly awareness लाना जरूरी है कि हम इस कार्मिक लॉ के अकॉर्डिंग अपनी लाइफ जी रहे हैं. काफी टाइम हम लोग समझ ही नहीं पाते हैं कि हम लोग कर्मा का रूल जो है उसको तोड़े जा रहे हैं, और फिर हम ट्रिप करते हैं, अरे यार मेरी लाइफ में ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, व्हाई एम उसकी वजह से ऐसा हो गया, उसकी वजह से ऐसा हो गया. किसी की वजह से कुछ नहीं हो सकता है except us ourselves. The others are just instruments to make that thing happen in our life. They are not the cause. They are part of the circumstances and the condition, but the cause is us. तो अगर हमें ये समझ आ जाता है, so you stop worrying about the past causes. आज से you start creating the cause that you want. It is not possible. Things that you have not done, those things cannot come to you. And if you feel that way, then you have to ask, okay, a very practical approach would be, what is the lesson I need to learn? ये तो तय है कि आपको वही दिया जाएगा जो आपने कभी किसी को दिया. अब वो इस लाइफ में दिया है, किसी पुरानी लाइफ में दिया है, वो हम नहीं कह सकते हैं. But nothing comes to us without us having created the entitlement for it. Very good question. Gita says that do not worry about the fruits of your actions. Master Choa has actually answered that question. I will repeat that answer here. He said, this was said to Arjun by Lord Krishna. Is that right? Do you remember the context in which it was said? किस टाइम पे? जब महाभारत, जब वो युद्ध होने वाला था, right? What was Arjun about to do? He was going to go into battle and kill. And that time, Krishna said, you just do your karam, don't worry about the fruits. So that is contextual. हम लोग कुछ भी अच्छा करेंगे, उसका आपको फल तो मिलेगा ही. हम कुछ अच्छा नहीं करेंगे, उसका भी फल मिलेगा, ये तो तय है. That is the law of the universe, whether we like it, whether we want to pretend to ignore it or not, वो है. What we can do as intelligent people is utilize that knowledge every second of the day by being aware and doing the right thing. It's not a question of you are right, I am right, my opinion, your opinion. What Master Choa used to say, what is important is do the right thing. When you do the right thing will be done by you. As simple as that. All right. So if there are any more questions, I'll be very happy to answer. I can go on talking about the law of karma. अगर और questions हैं, please पूछिए, since I was told कि कुछ time हमें question answers के लिए भी रखना है. So I hope that gave you a small glimpse. मास्टर चोआ, एक चीज और बोलूंगी, जो हमारी क्लासेस हैं मास्टर चोआ की, उनमें एक्चुअली वो एक पूरा रोड मैप देते हैं कि आप अपनी लाइफ को धीरे धीरे कैसे चेंज करें, कैसे अवेयर होएं, और कैसे इस कार्मिक अवेयरनेस को अपनी लाइफ में हर रोज प्रैक्टिकली यूटिलाइज करते जाएं. अभी हम लोग बहुत लकी हैं कि कुछ क्लासेस ऑनलाइन होनी शुरू हो गई हैं. एक अचीविंग वननेस विद द हायर सोल क्लास है, उसमें भी ये सिखाया जाता है. बेसिक प्राणिक हीलिंग ऑफलाइन होती है. आप कहाँ पे भी रहते हैं, अपने आसपास के सबसे नियरेस्ट सेंटर को फाइंड आउट करके आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. एक सेल्फ प्राणिक हीलिंग क्लास भी है जो ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल है. How do we know the lesson is learned and how to understand? Very good question. Thank you, Jyoti. The lesson is learned when the problem goes away. The moment the lesson is learned, your problem will stop. See, Master Hermi gave that example, no? कि उनका चश्मा गुम होता रहता था. उनको, I think within a month, she had to pick up 3 specs. When she realized, उन्होंने reflect किया ये मेरे को क्या सिखा रहा है, मेरे साथ ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है, what is it that I need to learn? And she went and paid that shop the money that she had asked for and insisted on a discount for. Her problem went away. So a short way of knowing that we've learned our lesson is your problem will go away. Balramji, you have your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. Atma Namaste.
Atma
मैं
Namaste.
पूछना चाह रहा था कि like I have helped some of my friends in monetary terms financially, but they have made a fake excuse of their mother's and sickness.
So again, thank you for sharing that. You have to, again, Master Chua would always say that being kind and generous, can we please have, thank you. Being kind and generous is good, but you have to also use your mind.
So how
You also have to be intelligent.
Like, hello, am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, you are.
It's very difficult to judge whether they are in really need of the money or they are just faking it, because वो एक जब sickness का reason देते हैं तो फिर हमें भी लगता है कि अगर मेरे थोड़े से help करने से problem solve हो सकती है तो
You
why
have
not
two
to help?
choices. According to me, I would go back to what my father has said. One is you do what you think is right. He said he was in a position to help someone, he helped. And I know today that I'm my father's daughter, but I don't think I have the guts to do what he did.
Okay.
Also, आपके एक्सपीरियंसेस आपको शेप करेंगे. अगर बार बार कोई आपका बेवकूफ बना रहा है तो आपको ये भी सोचना है कि क्या मैं किसी का बेवकूफ बनाता हूं अननोइंगली. इट कैन कम इन डिफरेंट थिंग्स. कई बार हमको लगता है कि हम नहीं कर रहे हैं कुछ गलत, लेकिन कर रहे हैं, तभी वो कर्मा आपके सामने आ रहा है, तभी आपके साथ ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है, नहीं तो आपके साथ होगा ही नहीं. So you have to really ask. There are two ways of looking at karma practically. You can ask yourself, what am I being stopped from doing? जो चीज आप अपनी जिंदगी में नहीं कर पा रहे हैं because of certain situations in your life, उसके बेसिस पे आप सोचिए क्या मैं किसी और को भी रोक रहा हूं किसी चीज करने से. That is one way of looking at it. The second way is you say, okay, what is the lesson? Why is the same thing happening again and again? What is my lesson? And you can use this चाहे आपके relationships हैं, चाहे आपका पैसा है, चाहे आपका काम है, anything. Now, a lot of us do meditation. When we do the twin hearts meditation, you're generating good thoughts, you're blessing, those thoughts will come back. But my dear friends, one more thing you have to remember. You sit in meditation for 20 minutes. What about 24 hours minus those 20 minutes? Are you able to put that, जो हम मेडिटेट करते हैं, into practice? बहुत मुश्किल होता है, लेकिन धीरे धीरे if you can learn to put that into true practice, you will see the problems will go away. So the only thing that overrules the law of karma, according to our teacher Master Chua, is the law of mercy and forgiveness. So that is also based on karma only. No, आप forgive करोगे, you will be forgiven. So you can use this law. You can either learn the hard way or the easy way. The easy way, the smarter way, is to really ask, am I doing this to someone else in my thoughts, in my words, in my action? Now, you may not intend it. Somebody had said karma is also intention. Sometimes karma is unintentional. It is lesser, but it's there. आप किसी को चोट नहीं पहुंचाना चाहते, लेकिन उसको चोट पहुंची. You have created karma. How to be careful while this is again, like I said, you practice. If you live, Master Chua speaks in the courses, jab aap classes karenge, some of you I know have done them. You go back to the 5 virtues. How to be super intelligent, super clear. Or you practice the virtue of honesty and non-lying. आप किसी का बेवकूफ नहीं बनाएंगे, आप किसी की आंखों पे पट्टी नहीं डालेंगे झूठ बोल के, तो आपकी आंखों पे पट्टी नहीं डलेगी. You will be able to see very, very clearly. You know, we think हम झूठ नहीं बोल रहे हैं, but a simple झूठ, and I'll tell you a simple example which I used to do sometimes is, late हो रहे हैं, दिल्ली वाले जो भी रहते हैं जहां पे भी है, क्या बोलते थे? ट्रैफिक है. हम ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि हम देर से निकले घर से, ट्रैफिक था जी इसलिए लेट हो गए. That's lie. Now I make sure I tell someone that, listen, I'm really sorry, but I got delayed. आप किसी का time waste करते हैं, आप late आते हैं. Your time, you're wasting the most precious commodity. Time never comes back. Then you go to the bank. जब आप लाइन में खड़े हैं, आपकी जैसे ही बारी आएगी, वो बाबूजी उठ के चले जाएंगे, sorry ma'am, tea break. Your time will be wasted. And whether we like it or not, a lot of us give importance to time as per the stature of the person. If there's a very important person, we will not waste their time. If it's just someone else, मतलब काम करने वाला कोई है, तो हम सोचते हैं उसका time valuable ही नहीं है. We are creating karma. तो कहीं ना कहीं तो वो वापस आएगा ना. So अगर इस knowledge के साथ हम हर रोज एक काम कर सकते हैं, and आप लोग, बड़ा simple बात है, at the end of the day, आप सोचिए, आज मैंने किस तरह का karma create किया. If it was good, appreciate that good. Say, yes, good job done. If it was not good, you make a mental effort and you make sure that next time you will not repeat it.
How to neutralize it?
How do you neutralize what? Yes, sometimes it is true that there is traffic, then you're not creating karma, right? But that is also our karma, to be in the traffic and be delayed, by the way. Everything comes down to it. How do you neutralize karma? It's very simple. You do the exact opposite mindfully, and you do not repeat the same mistake. You learn your lesson. So to a large extent, karma will be neutralized. Again, this is taught in detail in the classes. I haven't seen any, I've read a lot of books. I've done a lot of classes. I'm a voracious reader. मुझे बहुत शौक है पढ़ने का. But जितनी आसानी से और straight words में मास्टर चौहान ने जो techniques दिए हैं, इसको एकदम shortcut method जो दिया हुआ है अपनी life में लगाने का, I haven't found it anywhere else. So if you have not done the classes, I would definitely suggest that you do. I'm not marketing it just like that. I've lived it, I've seen it. If you have done the classes, I would suggest you go back and reread that part. Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul में बहुत सुंदर तरीके से बताया मास्टर ने इसके बारे में. बेसिक की किताब में बहुत अच्छे से बताया हुआ है. Okay.
Neena, one question.
Hi, Archana.
Hi, Neena. Neena, my one question. In this life, we are aware of our karmas. We do things consciously. But हमारे past life के karmas का क्या effect होता है हमारे?
Okay, thank you for asking that. I know there is something called past life regression. People.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Just a minute. Let me just finish this. Who's that?
Ma'am, Naomi, ma'am, my doubt was very similar.
Okay, now, so let me just answer this quickly. I don't know how much time we have. Prerna, please let me know. What Master says is, from the fruit, the seed is obvious. So, आपने question पूछा past life के हमें कैसे पता है? He said, I just need to look at your life right now. That is enough to tell me that you did something in the past that created this today. He gives a very beautiful example. In fact, there is this book, The Existence of God is Self-Evident. Someone is asking, that's one of the very good books. You can read the book on basic pranic healing, the art and science of pranic healing. That's a very good book to read. There is a book on karma by one of Master's disciples, Vijay Atri. It's titled Karma. That's a very good book to read. But Master said, for example, does everyone have a cell phone? सबके पास है? Yes. Has every one of us visited the cell phone factory? No. But do you believe there is a cell phone factory? Obviously. अगर cell phone है, तो obviously कहीं ना कहीं ये बन रहा है ना. I don't need to go and visit a cell phone factory to know that ये बनाया जा रहा है किसी factory में. I don't need to go into my past life to know मैंने क्या किया था. जो मेरे को मिल रहा है इस लाइफ में आज, my present is the result of my past, and similarly my future will be the result of my present actions. That's why he said, forget about the past, जो हो गया. You start navigating and creating your future now. Now we all know this. The question is, are we putting it into practice? We all look, the human mind, if those of you who have studied psychology, you'll know the human mind loves to trick you. It loves to blame others. It's difficult to take responsibility, but we got to take responsibility. और कोई चारा नहीं है. आप नहीं लोगे तो वो डंडा पड़ता रहेगा. It's not to create fear, by the way. That's the way it is. How many times do you need to jump out of the balcony to know that the law of gravity exists? You don't even need to jump out. You just know it. Have the same faith and knowledge for karma. It is there. Live your life as per that. Okay? Friendships, relationships that become toxic, same. It's there for a purpose. You ask, what is it that I have to learn? देखो कोई धोखा दे रहा है. I'm having trouble trusting. Are people also having trouble trusting me? It is both ways. So you really just have to keep coming back and say, what is the lesson? What is the lesson? How can I learn it? And then you do things to try and get the opposite. That's why I'm saying you live your life by those 5 virtues, in which masters actually explain do's and don'ts. You do what you want to get in your life. You don't do what you don't want to get in your life. Simple.
मैम वन क्वेश्चन है, अभी आपने बोला कि ऑफिस के अंदर, ऑफिस में जैसे टी टाइम हो गया उनका, तो उन्होंने छोड़ दिया कि मैं जा रहा हूँ, आपका टाइम खत्म हो गया, 1% रह गया, तो उसमें कर्मा कैसे होगा?
आपका टाइम वेस्ट हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? आप यहाँ से घर से टाइम निकाल के दफ्तर तक जाते हैं, वेट करते हैं, सॉरी बैंक में जाते हैं, वेट करते हैं पूरी लाइन में. आपकी जब बारी आती है उस टाइम विंडो बंद हो जाती है.
हाँ जी.
आपको वापस आना पड़ता है, नेक्स्ट डे फिर से जाना पड़ता है. आपका टाइम वेस्ट हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? एनर्जी वेस्ट हुआ कि नहीं हुआ?
हाँ जी. तो उसमें कर्मा कैसे होगा?
आपने किसी का टाइम वेस्ट किया तो आपका टाइम वेस्ट कराया जाएगा.
अच्छा, ओके.
हम अक्सर करते हैं. आई यूज्ड टू डू इट, आई एम गिल्टी ऑफ इट एंड आई रियलाइज्ड एंड स्टॉप डूइंग इट. यू जस्ट फीलिंग लेजी. दरवाजे पे धोबी पैसे लेने आया, उसको बोलो अगली बार आ जाना, बिकॉज यू डोंट इवन थिंक अबाउट इट. क्या है, एक बार और आ जाएगा, बिग डील. व्हाट हैव आई मेड हिम डू? चक्कर लगवाए उसके मैंने.
Wrong guy.
Today, if the dhobi comes like that and if I'm not available because I'm in a meeting like this, he knows that I will go and pay him. He will not have to come back to me. अभी तो thankfully technology हमें allow करती है, तो पेटीएम से, जीपे से पैसे चले जाते हैं. But what I'm trying to say is, I make sure that I value time in others. Right? So this law of karma is applicable in every aspect of our life. आपके साथ कोई गलत कर रहा है, आप उसको रोकिए, लेकिन मन ही मन में उसको कर्स मत करिए. आप उसको कर्स करेंगे तो आप कर्स होने का कर्मा क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. आप उसको ब्लेस करेंगे तो आप ब्लेसिंग्स पाने का कर्मा क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. सो यू टेक एक्शन जहां पे नेसेसरी है, बट मेक श्योर दैट मेंटली, वर्बली एंड अपने एक्शन से you are doing exactly what you thing. Now, in relationships, we can have another session maybe and talk about relationships. I'd love to take that session up sometime. But it's the same thing. हमको कई बार relationships में pain मिलता है. Somebody is cheating on us. Trust issues होते हैं. We have to really see. ये तभी हो सकता है हमारे साथ जब हमने कभी ऐसा किया हो. Maybe not in this life. Maybe in a past life. But nothing can happen, nothing can come to you if you've not created it. It's as simple as that. So beggars, they have, so poverty karma is generated by stealing. Prosperity karma is generated by donating and giving. So you decide. Like I said, you have to take, it's not easy, but you have to make the decision. Are you in a position to give? Should you be giving? Would you rather be in a position to beg and ask? So you have to decide. Yeah, there are some very nice books. It's based on the teachings of, again, Master Choa. So this is one of the books that I really like. It's actually titled Karma. Can you see it? It's The Secrets of Karma. This is a very, very simple book written by Vijay Atri. It uses the same principles and examples of Master Choa. There is the topic of karma is also covered in this book, The Ancient Art and Science. And there is, I don't have that book here right now with me. I have it in Italian, but there is the Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul book. You can look at that. It's a beautiful book. So you can read. Master's written also the Hinduism Revealed book. He talks a little bit over there as well. So you can really read these books up. What is the karma of bankruptcy? Poverty karma, I just said, stealing. Stealing creates poverty karma. So the karmic repercussion of stealing from people, and we steal in different ways. I'll give you my example if you want. And Prerna, please let me know how much time we have. I've been a teacher. I used to teach at the university. And when, you know how it is, when you have to take attendance at the end, class mein, university mein kai baar bahut sare students hote hain aapki class mein. Now, when my children were younger, they used to sometimes take out pens from my purse. Mere purse mein kai baar pen nahi hota tha. So as a teacher, what would I do in the class? I'd say, kisi ka pen hai, can you someone give me a pen? Kyunki mujhe attendance mark karni hoti thi. Now, the moment I would mark the attendance, the students would just run out of class, you know, attendance ho gayi, class khatam ho gayi, bhago yahan se, chutti karo. The pen used to remain with me. And I didn't even think about it. I used to just put it in my purse. Pen hi to hai. It was not as if I wanted to steal the pen. You know, it was not conscious stealing. But when I attended my first class and I started reflecting, I realized, hey, I've taken something that does not belong to me. Not willingly, not knowingly, but I've still done it. That is again stealing. You take something that does not belong to you, it is stealing. So the next day I would go and find that student and give back the pen. So sometimes we create it unknowingly. Now, when you create it unknowingly, वो कम effect होता है उसका. लेकिन अगर जानबूझ के हम लोग कई बार होता है सुपरमार्केट गए, वहां पे उन्होंने कुछ चीजें एक्स्ट्रा दे दी, आपको बिल नहीं किया, हम बड़े खुश होते हैं, आहा फ्री में मिल गया. Everybody likes. यहाँ तक सब्जी के साथ धनिया भी फ्री चाहिए होता है. But please remember, nothing comes for free. Right? So there are some upcoming classes. Yes, we have the Achieving Oneness, which is online. I know of that. Prerna can share others. On the 25th of Feb, the self-pranic healing from the 1st to the 4th of March. So photocopies is an example. Very good, yes. So when I used to use photocopies, since I was teaching Italian and the books were not there, I used to go and donate in the name of the author. Because obviously my students won't buy books. Unka pura saal ka fees 3,000 hai, wo 5,000 ka kitab nahi kharidenge. So it really depends over there. You have to be intelligent and smart. You have to give citations. There are rules to give citations. If you're taking intellectual property from somewhere, you have to cite the due credit. If somebody is born differently abled, like I said, no, we're not blaming. Karma is not about blaming. It is actually about taking responsibility. Karma is actually not punishment. I told you ना, आप अगर gravity को समझते हैं, तभी आप हवाई जहाज उड़ा सकते हैं. It is just a perspective. आप किस तरह से चीज को लेंगे? आप उसका knowledge use कर सकते हैं. See, you can use the knowledge of fission and fusion to create a nuclear bomb. You can use the same knowledge to light up an entire city. आप जो knowledge है आपके पास, आप उसको किस तरह से इस्तेमाल करेंगे? That will depend on you. That's your choice. So if you have an ailment, if you have an ailing body, you have pain in your body, that means we have karmically created pain somewhere. So we have to make sure we don't create further pain. On the other hand, we actually create better karma, exact opposite positive karma, by helping other people who are in pain, by reducing other people's pain. आप लोगों का पेन कम करेंगे, आपका पेन कम हो जाएगा. It's as simple as that. So you have to really see everything, especially the tougher times in your life, are the best opportunities to learn and grow. You learn, your muscles grow strong in the gym when you use weights. आप weight नहीं उठाएंगे तो आपकी toning up वो डोले शोले कैसे बनेंगे, right? So the difficulties in life are you have to really look at it. Oh, good, this is a good opportunity to grow. What am I going to learn? How am I going to become stronger? And you have to also remember that's a blessing. Why? As a teacher, you give more marks to the more intelligent person. You're given more responsibility because you're a better worker. You're also paid higher. So the lords of karma are also smart. वो आपको ये नहीं देंगे जिससे आप एकदम पिचक जाओ. Then you're useless. उनका काम आपको पिचकाना नहीं है. They give you more because they think you're capable of handling it. So it gives you the opportunity to really grow fast. That's why I said, we have the knowledge, we have the tools, we have to make the choice how we use them. That's it. All right. So I think that should be enough. We've already gone over time. I hope everybody enjoyed their chai and samosa. I definitely enjoyed being here. So thank you very much. I'll hand the floor back to Prerna.
Thank you so much, Nina, for so much of clarity about karma and answering everyone's questions so patiently. It was an amazing session. So I would you like to do the closing invocation?
All right, so let's do a closing. And if you have extra questions and all that, you may send them to Prerna and we'll take them up in another session. Maybe I'd love to. Like I said, if you can, for me, one of the most simple ways of learning about these things and understanding all the things that I learned even as a kid have been Master Choa's classes. So I'm really, really grateful to Master Choa for the clarity and the techniques he's given us. Let's just say a thank you. Please close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, smile. This is also karma to be entitled to. We thank God for the opportunity and the possibility to learn. Thank you for all the blessings. Thank you for giving us the understanding of all the topics that we've discussed, so that we can use this knowledge and understanding to help ourselves and help others around us to create a better life. Thank you for blessing each and every person present here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for your time, for your presence, for your questions, and thank you Prerna, the center of your center, for giving me this opportunity. See you next time.
Thank you, Nina. Actually, I'm having some problem with my video.
Thank you
so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you everyone for
thank
joining
you,
the
thank
session.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ji.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.